Hello everyone, good morning. It's me, Vanessa. I have a story I want to share with you all today, and I hope that through my story and my experience that it will help you in kind of reevaluating how you perceive people, because you never ever know what is going on in their world. So, I have this woman that has recently come into my life, and she works. She's in the service industry and serves drinks um, and kind of at a snack shop. And every time that I would see her, she always seemed distant and kind of annoyed to help me. And I just every time it just left me with the sinking feeling every time I would go in and have to get and go get a tea or get a piece of fruit, that she wasn't a happy person. And I thought, gosh, she's in the service industry. Why is she not nice? And I mean, I shouldn't say she's not nice, but there was just this air about her that just, like she was miserable. And I said this to even my daughters, my little girls. They felt it. Some friends felt it. Like, gosh, what's going on with this woman? And again, it wasn't that she was outright. It was just this air that permeated the air. And I made this decision, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, that I was going to kill her with kindness, because she'd really we'd had kind of an episode. She was just so kind of snotty. And one day, and of course, I was not happy about it. And as I was leaving the establishment, I made a comment to my daughter and friend, like, gosh, why is she so miserable? It's like, gosh, this is terrible. And I think she might have heard me. And after that moment, again, I made the decision to really kill her with kindness. So every day I'd ask her how she was doing, smile. And it's funny because after that moment, after I think she heard me, it seemed like she was much, much nicer to me and pleasant, just a happier person. Well, I shouldn't say happier person. She just seemed, certainly, I got a little more warm fuzzy from her than I'd ever gotten. And which was nice. I like that. I mean, especially if you're going to see someone, you want to be greeted and feel the warm fuzzies with people that you come in contact with. And so it's getting better. Like I said, in the last week, every time I'd come in contact with her, I'd make a point to say hello and how are you doing, and she was responding. So today, after my workout, I went in to grab a tea and a piece of fruit, and she'd been off for a couple of days. So I asked her how her weekend was, and she said, it was, her days off. She said, yes, it was great, but I'm pretty exhausted, with my kids. And I, of course, said, oh, because I had never asked her about her kids, which is, I don't know why. But I said, oh, okay, how many kids do you have? And she said 4. And then she goes, no, well, actually 3, because one of my children passed away. And of course, the first thing I was like, my gut just went, oh, the light bulb went off. I asked her, I said, oh, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. And she said it was the most painful thing ever. And of course, I, being curious and concerned, I asked her, how old her child was that had passed. And she said he was 7. And that she proceeded to tell me that her son had nearly drowned in her babysitter's pool, and had been kind of in a coma for 6 years, and that she had taken her child home, and she'd nurtured him for all these years, and had recently, and I think within a year or two, had pulled the plugs and let him go. My heart sank. I proceeded, I said, I'm so sorry, and I proceeded to explain that I too had lost a husband, which is so different than losing your own child, but it's still something that is so painful. And she thanked me for asking and for listening, and tears were running down my eyes, running down my face, I mean. And I just said, I'm so sorry, and thanks for sharing, and have a nice day. And I as I walked out of the room, I was just overcome with, you never ever know what someone's going through, what their story is. Now, I'm not saying it gives anyone a right or permission to not be pleasant to other people. And I think that's the big disconnect, is that we don't realize that when we're hurting so much inside, that it's so almost always so obvious on the outside, just like this energy that you emit. And I judged a book by its cover because of her kind of, the air about her, the attitude, like she didn't want to be there. Well, she probably doesn't want to be there. And was kind of walking around like a zombie. Well, it makes complete sense why all those things happened. And this story is just one story. There's so many out there. We all have, I've been judged many, many times, and it doesn't feel good. And I'm just as guilty at times of doing that. The one thing that I'm fortunate about myself is that I'm curious and that I ask questions. I wish I'd asked questions with her sooner, because it would have left me 2 or 3 months of not having to be like, oh, gosh, every time I go in there, she's just this. What I want you to do from this, what I would love for you to take from this, is to get to know people, ask questions. And it doesn't matter if it's in the grocery store or your local coffee shop or the waitress or the guy next to you. Take a moment. If you're in that space, take a moment and ask a few questions. See how someone's doing. It doesn't take much. I think you'd be surprised at what you'll learn. That's all I want to share. Let me know if you have any experience like this. I'd love to hear it. Love your feedback. And I hope you have an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day filled with lovely, healthy, delicious hugs. Hey, and also come see me at vanessachamberlin.com. If you like inspiration and you love delicious, fabulous food, you will not be disappointed.